So, Steve, we were able to announce the amazing news today that we've signed Mike McMeeken on a 4-year deal. He'll be joining us for the start of the 2025 season. First of all, just talk us through what attracted you to bringing McMeeken into the club.
Yeah, well, we're delighted to get Mikey over the line. He's a big asset to the club, a real big target that we wanted right from day one. Obviously the timing and stuff having to wait. So I'm really delighted we've managed to get over the line pretty sharpish. What attracted us to Mikey is his leadership on and off the field, real professional in everything that he does. He's a genuine competitor. And I know he'll be a real big influence around the place, and everyone in there loves him. The fans will love him. On field, I think he does his talking on the field. He works hard. He's a big minutes. Can play middle or in the back row, so that'd be a real asset for us. But yeah, I just think he's a key player for the club, and he'll be a genuine leader on and off the field.
He's a man that obviously you and a lot of the rest of the coaching staff know, having worked with him previously at Castleford. Obviously, Pally coached him, Michael Shenton obviously captained him, and you are obviously the analyst at that time while Mikey was at the club. Did that attract you, already knowing what he was like off the field as well as obviously his talents on the field?
Yeah, I think in every transfer that you bring in, or signing, that you bring in, there's a risk factor. And I think the beauty with this one here, we know exactly all about Mikey. We know about his family and his kids and stuff like that. So it's an easy one for us, and it's a less risk. We know exactly what he brings on and off the field. We know his family will settle in, obviously, from round here. So I think that's a big influence in the decision. A big one for Mikey too, knowing exactly what we're like. That it makes the transition easy, obviously coming back from France too. So yeah, when you sign any player, it's a risk, but I think it's we're really happy to get him in, and we know he'll be a key player for us.
A lot of people around the league, and a lot of fans of probably other clubs will be sat there thinking, how have Wakefield managed to secure an England international, and one that's playing regular at this point in time for England? Is that a bit of wizardry? Have you been pulling off some tricks, or is it just a lot of preparation and a lot of kind of goodwill?
Yeah, I think a lot of preparation into it. There's there's no doubt about it. We're on a special journey here, and we want Mike to be a part of it. Mike was really impressed with what's been going on here so far this year. Once told our future plans and what we're planning on doing around the place, on and off the field. It was an easy one for him to be a part of it. You can see that this is a genuine club that's going forward and going to go on a special journey right to the top of Super League.
This is the first signing since the 1st of May, obviously the deadline where you can actually negotiate with players and speak to players that are off contract. Are preparations going well for the rest of the squad as you're building and looking towards 2025? Yeah,
definitely. I feel like we couldn't have probably had a better start in the last 3 days. So we're on a really exciting journey. There's going to be some special players coming in here. And the ones that the fans will really get up for. Matt Ellis has not hidden away the fact that we're trying to build a top 4 club here, and everything he's doing off field for IMG and stuff like that. My job's to get a real special team on the field for Darryl and his coaching staff to work with, and I feel like the first couple of days of this window has been successful for us, and it'll be an exciting couple of months for the Wakefield Trinity fans once they start to get over the line.
Yeah, people know about the 1st of May deadline obviously being the catalyst for when you can negotiate with players, but obviously the work behind the scenes starts a lot earlier than that. Obviously, you and the rest of the team kind of came in around October, November time last year and put a lot of work in the 2024 squad, but was there also work going on from that point looking towards 2025?
Yeah, I think a lot of what we wanted to do was build a team that's going to be together for a number of years. Obviously, Mike's coming on a 4-year deal. All the coaching staff are on a 4-year deal. So it's for us is making sure that all the work we do is a long-term plan. It's not a 2 or 3 year project. This is a long-term plan to make sure we get targets that we need. A little bit different for us this year, obviously coming behind the 8 ball really with late start. We had a couple of contracted players when we first joined the club. So even with this year's squad, we didn't want to rush, bring players in that were not going to be part of the long-term plan that we've got here at Wakefield. So we've obviously got a lot of players taking forward, and now is to add a little bit more quality into the squad that's going to help us get into Super League.
we've talked about the guys that potentially could be coming to the squad in 2025, but obviously the guys that are off contract in 2024, it's a big time for them. There will be some decisions being made over who you're keeping, who you maybe moving on from. Have you gone through that process? Where are we at in that stage?
Yeah, so obviously with the May the 1st deadline, we have to let players know where we stand really. Every single player's had communication, who's our contract. I think there's 15 that are potentially in that bracket. They've all had communication around where we're at. A couple of them have re-signed already, which obviously will be announced in due course. But in terms of the players who are out of contract, we're only a couple of games into the season. That's where it's hard to make decisions this early on players. But everyone knows where they stand. There's no miscommunication around it. And so we're working towards them and work with the players. We want to keep people around for a long time and be part of this project.
You look at your role as recruitment manager here, and you look at the recruits that you've brought in for 2024, especially guys from overseas like Isaiah Vangenaar and Kai Rodwell. Is it pleasing to see how well they've won on the field and how well they've been received by the fans as well?
Yeah, massive. I'm like a nervous wreck on that first game when they come over because, again, there's risk factors to everything. My job is to get the risk as low as we possibly can with networking and getting as much footage and stuff like that as we can do. But when that first run out on the field, you are a nervous wreck and hoping to God that they're the player that you've seen. And I think the one thing we can say is every player that's come over has a fair old run and it's gone down pretty well with the fans. We're working hard with these boys. Obviously we just renewed Caleb for 2025. I think he's took the fans' favourite so far since he's got over here. And we'll keep working towards that to keep bringing players in that the fans will love, but also the players that we've got the fans love. We'll keep working. I know for a fact the coaches will keep working with them to keep developing them to get them to the highest ability that they possibly can.